This is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we are just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And tonight, it's our recap of Episode 4, The One-Armed Dude and Three Moms.
Once again, our title comes from...
Hayden.
Yes, it does. He's starting the old Hayden social game. The old Hayden playa is starting to come through.
Hayden the playa. Well, thank you all for listening tonight. If you're new to us, welcome. If you've been with us for a while, we're glad you're still hanging around.
That's right.
That's right. We also want to thank you for shopping Amazon using our links. Feel free to buy books, car parts, children. No, I'm just kidding. You can't buy kids.
Wow, that caught me off guard. That was pretty good.
Computers.
He meant kids' books, kids' games,
kids' books,
kids stuff
whatever.
Like that.
Go to our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com, and there are links to Amazon everywhere at the top of every single post, and there's even a page for Amazon. So do that. Go to our Facebook group, which is Facebook/group/SurvivorTalk, and join our group. We have a lot of fun on our group. In fact, thanks to our group, I was spoiled tonight. Just as I was watching it, Wendy Zell, yes, thank you so much, Wendy Zell, puts on our Facebook group. I wasn't. Puts up on Facebook, I am so happy right now. And I looked at my watch, my clock, it was 8:10, and I thought, oh, great, Brad's going home. Well, I was right. Yay for that. What happens is I have, Mac OS 10 Mavericks, the brand new one. I have the beta. I have the Gold Master on my computer, and notifications come up. Mm-hmm. So anytime, that's right, bow down to me. Whatever. So anytime, someone posts or something, bloop, it shows up on my computer, and so I have to train myself not to look at it when I'm watching the show, but I didn't do that. So anyway.
Where you're doing your notes? Is that where you saw it? Because you're doing your notes on the scene?
Yeah, I have my computer in front of me doing my notes.
Okay.
Since I sold my iPad. But anyway, we have Shayna Says, we have Katya's Corner, and of course David's Survivor by the Slice. We always have 3 blogs every week on our website, survivortalkwithdnd.com. There's a link to our Shootin the Breeze podcast, which is still in the new and noteworthy, and we haven't even done an episode in 2 weeks.
Right.
So, yeah, that's good. Links to Fantasy Pool, which, oh my gosh, Mike in Cleveland's going to think you and I are cheating like crazy because we're kicking butt. That's all I got to say. So... Shout-outs, David. Are you ready for some shout-outs?
I'm ready. I've been waiting 4 years for these shout-outs.
Yes.
4 seasons for these shout-outs.
All right, well, the one that happened first was our 550th follower on Twitter. And the person who is our 550th follower on Twitter, until someone else drops off and another person's number 550th, because that happens a lot on Twitter, is Bobby from St. Louis.
Sweet. Oh, I didn't get my applause out. Doggone it.
Next, we have our 200th Facebook group member, Carol Downing.
Awesome.
Hey, while I'm talking about something, go put that YouTube link on our Facebook page because Wendy can't find it.
Okay.
So if you're wanting to watch us live, do behind the scenes, then we record every Sunday and Wednesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern. Sometimes we get started a little late on Wednesdays because I don't get to start watching until 8. But anyway, y'all want to get to the show. Tonight in the show, we are going to recap the episode, and what an episode it was. We are going to tell you our stock up and stock down, which I do not have yet, but David does. And we'll give you our fantasy pool results, which I do believe David and I are kicking the SCA 9000 out of this world of fantasy pools. That's what I think is going on. And I don't think I gained any points on David because I think he probably, wanted to be more like me and picked Brad for all 20 points.
Right.
By the way, apparently my tweet this afternoon to Avitas was so accurate that people thought I was spoiled, and Vetus didn't even respond. Well, okay, so I tweeted to Vetus after he made some comment. I tweeted, tonight's the night y'all vote Brad off. Y'all blindside Brad. It'll be interesting to see him go to Redemption Island. Vetus replies back, why in the world would I vote off the guy that I'm standing behind because he's the bigger target? That would be a horrible move. And I wrote back, I don't think you had anything to do with it. Basically, I think the girls conspire with Caleb and Hayden and get you off. And get Brad off, which I was wrong. Hayden didn't do it.
But you were about 85% right.
I know, and so I actually, because David wanted me to, went and took those tweets off so that people wouldn't think that we were spoiled, because we are not spoiled at all.
Now I got to wonder what Vitas thinks. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, I was wrong because I said Hayden in the girls, and it was... I
know about that part.
And Vitas is actually the one who did it. Vitas is the one who switched his vote. All right. Anyway, after you listen to this show, it'll be time for you to tell us what you think about this episode of Survivor, and you can do that on our feedback show, which will be Sunday night, live on Google Hangouts, and this one will stay on Google and stay on YouTube because we have a special guest for our feedback show. David, would you like to tell them who is going to be on our show, on our listener feedback show?
Wasn't she Miss Survivor last year?
I do believe she was.
Yes, R.C. Saint Amour.
Yes, we will have the beautiful R.C. Saint Amour. I will have a guest host.
Awesome.
Because you will be watching on YouTube while you're driving home.
Right.
And I will have Shayna, our D&D prospect. She and I will be doing the podcast Sunday night. How you like them apples?
I think it's probably going to be one of your highest rated podcasts ever.
Yes. Well, yes, because I'll have two beautiful women on the podcast with me.
There you go.
So why would they want to look at your bald head whenever they could look at RC?
You'll just have to lock the camera off of you.
Yeah. It's just going to be, I'm going to just put it on RC the whole time and on Shayna the whole time. All right. Anyway, so get your feedback in by Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we will read it and listen to it. And if you ask really nicely, maybe RC will hang around and read some. I don't know. That's up to her. All right.
Like we said the other podcast too, if you have any direct questions for her and we approve them, then they'll read them.
That's right.
So, some questions might not make it to air.
Yeah, we're not going to ask her about scooping. This isn't about we're not talking to RC about her past seasons and stuff. We want to ask her about this season, get her thoughts on it. I also want to give her a chance to promote her show and stuff like that.
And we also want a second chance to have her back on. So
yes, so I want to be nice, really nice.
Yes,
David, I'm planning on dressing up for that one.
I am not surprised. I know you well enough. I am not surprised. The haircut will be there. The gel will be out.
That's right. I'm gonna drive my convertible into my closet because it's small enough to fit in here.
Do it in the convertible. Do the podcast from the convertible.
We are
live from the convertible.
Live from my convertible,
which I've renamed RC.
Oh, if I named my convertible RC, Connie would shoot me. She already doesn't even get in it. She can't stand the thing. Can you believe this? We'll have to talk about that on Shootin the Breeze. All right. Hey, one thing I've noticed about since we do these Google Hangouts now and we record, I sure do that a lot. Yeah. You know? I do that a lot. That's very annoying to me.
I don't even notice. I don't look at you anyway, so.
I'm not even going to tell everybody what it is. I'll have to watch sometime.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Let's do episode 4, Blood versus Water. Wendy says, I see you. How exciting. Well, put that on YouTube comments and we'll see it. All right. Anyway, so episode 4, initial thoughts. Can I give my first one first?
The floor is yours.
I normally let you do it first.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Kat playing Survivor this season?
Who?
Kat? Isn't there someone named Kat playing?
Yeah.
Even when they show somebody that I think might be Kat, she doesn't look like she knows that she's on the game. She kind of looks absent-minded. So
I think this is going to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
For a while.
I'm thinking maybe Kat needs Hayden over there with her to liven her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My initial.
Your nutshell.
My other. Yes, podcast awards are coming up, and if they listen to this one, we're a shoo-in for a nomination. Go to podcastawards.com and nominate us for People's Choice and Entertainment, please. There's also
especially
a link on
podcast number 114.
Yes.
This will be the one to hear.
This is the one. No, anyway, my other initial thought is, boy, Redemption Island ought to be a fun place to be the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Before you
Brad.
hit me.
You know, I'll hit you because you woke me up. Just go to sleep. We'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Seriously, I honestly think if I were Brad, well, I wouldn't be Brad. I mean, I look like Brad, but I wouldn't be Brad. I'm built like Brad. If I was Brad, I wouldn't go in there and say, I just lay down on the ground and just go to sleep and let him wake up and find me in the morning.
I wonder about that, too, because I'm thinking, dude, just go sit by a tree. Go fall asleep somewhere where you can rest your head. Don't wake them up from a dead sleep unless production says you need to sleep in the gazebo, so you need to wake them up and let them know you're here. This is part of the deal. That's what I wonder, because I can't imagine Brad would want to upset them by waking them up.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so what were your initial thoughts, David?
Before I say them, I did enjoy the episode.
Uh-oh.
But both of my initial thoughts are production-based. They're not for the survivors or necessarily the people in it. They're for the people behind the episode. And I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that CBS, to me, gave away too much of this episode.
Well, they did do that. Well, they didn't give away Brad, but they gave away other stuff. Well,
yeah, they did. I think they did, because I felt like I watched most of the episode in the commercials.
Yeah.
And they were just commercials. Everything Mike posted was commercials. You know, I mean, the behind the scenes challenge, I love. You don't get any clue from that except what the challenge is going to be.
Right.
But the commercials were, to me, giveaways.
You're right.
I wrote down, they could have promoted the tribal council with a desperate move is made at tribal council to save a place in the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell us there's going to be a major power change, because we don't know who that's going to be.
You're right.
I'm really disappointed in that.
You're right, because that was the major part of me picking Brad.
Yeah.
Because I tried to figure out, okay, who has the power and what would be a major shift, and so yeah.
And then the internet teaser was a major blind side, and then we get the Probst commercial of this tribe has gone through a major power shift. Only one person has that much power, and we've been talking about Brad. And the other initial reaction is, sooner or later, production and Probst and Mark Burnett and whoever else really need to grasp the fact that new players have such a huge disadvantage against returning players.
I know.
I mean, it's going to get frustrating after a while, and I feel bad for the people on Tadhana, because those are a lot of good people. They work hard. They don't deserve to lose this much, but they're getting their clocks cleaned.
Yeah,
and it's not even close. They're not even finishing their puzzles. They're not even trying to get close to it. So that was my two. But I did enjoy the episode, which leads me to think, why aren't we getting any of Probst's campaigning, as in wait till you see this season? Remember after One World, I think he tried to save the series by saying wait till next season. Remember, because One World was supposed to be a disappointment. He said wait till you see next season. Forget about these people. Wait till, I mean, what if I hope this season doesn't go downhill pretty quick. It can't. There's too much drama going on.
They need to do a tribal mix-up. They need to do one.
I think they're going to have to.
DeLong's going to win again. And pretty soon it's just going to be a bunch of returnees and Laura.
Yeah, because we didn't tease about the challenge in this next time on Survivor, so I'm wondering if that's why, because they do some sort of mix-up. But anyway, those are my initial reactions. It was more about the episode itself. I was disappointed that I kind of felt like I'd already seen it, but I still I love the ending, so it was really, really good episode.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get to the episode then. We have previously on basically just shows Brad calling an audible, Hayden saying opening Pandora's box, reminding us that he got to say the thing. And then Redemption Island, Night 8. Candace is shocked, and so is John.
I think she's more disappointed. John is still in a haze because he thought he was supposed to trust everybody.
Right.
But Candace is... First thing she says, I knew you'd be too trusting. And he smiles like, well, what am I supposed to be? You know, and it's like she's like, and it's almost like she said in her confessional, I didn't give him enough pointers. I didn't give him enough direction. And I'm thinking, you didn't really have enough time.
Right.
Because you joined the game late. And I wonder, if we don't know when they were called initially. Maybe they were called 6 months ago and said, hey, we're doing this. You might be on the list. That's when you start teaching them. That's when you start going back and watching seasons. Because I tell you, somebody who hasn't watched a lot of seasons is Brad Culpepper. But anyway, yeah, I felt bad that he went because I felt like he just was led along, was happy and enjoying life, and then all of a sudden just got taken out from under him.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else about Redemption Island, or shall we go to Tadhana Night 8?
We can go on.
All right. We see Brad bragging a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Well, no, I mean, basically, this is the third or fourth episode in a row where Brad has stuck his foot in his mouth. We need to, people that don't have loved ones, those are our best targets. Hello, Caleb's standing right there. I mean. So Bob the cameraman's going, hey, we're not going to have anything for confessional if you keep telling everybody your confessions. Yes.
You got to save it for the cameras. He's like, oh, I had him locked in. I had him believing everything I said, and then I just took him out. And Katie's going, you kind of have us locked in. So
yes.
What are you saying? And then,
yes.
I mean, he wasn't a loss because his loved one's not over there anymore.
Yep.
Caleb's over there. Okay. See, this is neat because as I don't want to say as bad as Brad is playing, but as bad as he's playing, the other ones are becoming even more and more enlightened as to how this game's being played, and they're doing a wonderful job of sitting back and playing along.
Yep. All right, so Caleb, this is where Caleb's distrust begins, if it hadn't already begun.
Right.
This is where it starts. The seed is planted.
Absolutely.
What will happen later on in the episode. All right, the Redemption Island duel. Wow, this was a doozy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For those of us who, for those of you who hated Redemption Island, you've got to be enjoying it some this season.
Yeah.
Yes?
Absolutely.
I mean, because you hated Redemption Island.
I hated the idea of Redemption Island, yes. I did not like the second chance opportunities. But the fact that they're making it such it's like Brad said, a dirty laundry time.
Yeah.
We're not getting exit interviews anymore. We're getting Redemption Island debates. And that's great.
And they get to say whatever they want. Probst isn't, stopping them. They get to say whatever they want. They get to talk strategy to the other team.
Yeah, because even Colton admitted that a lot was said that wasn't shown. So this goes on for a while. And I'm sure Probst is just sitting back saying, all right, let's use that. Yeah, let's use that. Yeah. He's just sitting back. I mean, they're getting to hug each other. They're getting to see each other. And I'm like, he's just sitting back like, this is what we wanted. This is what we want. Yep. So good job.
And you've got to think Brad's game would be so much different had we not had Redemption Island. Because everybody that goes to Redemption Island is ragging on Brad. So what does Candace do when she walks out? She flips off Brad first thing. She doesn't even know the guy.
I thought that was still the number one. I know, that's a good point because Monica brought that up too. She doesn't even know Brad.
All she knows is what Marissa has told her and what John has told her.
And Rachel. Right.
Rachel.
But it's like, she wasn't accurate though because, John wasn't accurate when he said every person that's come to Redemption Island was because of Brad. They all voted out Laura. I don't know if Brad told them to, but they all did. And then, except for Marissa, she voted for Brad. And then, from what we saw, it was Vitas's idea to send Rachel. That wasn't Brad's idea. I guess he just gave us okay.
No. But then Candace says, I would have rather had someone here that I wanted to hate, like, Brad.
Brad Culpepper. He gets a full name.
Yeah, and I wrote, this has got to be tough for Monica. I mean, she's just sitting there watching her husband get lamb-blasted.
Well, I was thinking it's also going to be tough for Brad. Brad is playing the game that he thinks he's best suited to play, and it's not a very good game, we're learning, but I don't think he sees he's doing anything wrong. He's leading his group, he's doing what they want to do, but, it's killing Monica. Because this is not what we were going to do. We were supposed to be together, we were going to work together, and and then her whole tribe is looking at her like, how are you taking this? How are you feeling?
And finally, she ends up trying to defend a little bit. Look, you don't even know my husband and stuff like that, but it doesn't really work.
Well, I like the vote idea though. When she said, "Hey, he's not the only one that votes."
Right.
He might be one person. He might be the leader because he is an alpha male, And then even Brad says, hey, it was 5-1, it was 6-1. You know, it was,
yeah.
It was the only person that didn't know what was going on was the person on Redemption Island.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And of course, the rest of Tadhana's going, yeah, it was Brad. It was Brad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we voted? Oh.
Yeah. we gave our proxies to Brad.
Yeah. Well, then John gets to do something that, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. John basically says, look, y'all, Brad's been behind everything, and you can't trust him, and you need to keep that in mind. He may need to go soon. Really? He gets to say that? Wow.
Now, I wonder, yeah, that's another great thing that we were just talking about, how you get to, it's a debate. It's like speak up time. This is your chance to make your final plea, but
yep.
I wonder how much that was prodding from his wife. Because we can tell who wears the survivor pants in that family.
Well, the survivor pants for sure.
But you know that anything he told her just enraged the fire against Brad because of what Rachel said, because of what Marissa said, and you know if he's the leader, we need to call him out. You need to say whatever you need to say against him, and it almost like John was hesitant to say stuff. He was just kind of saying, he wasn't really saying it in a dramatic way. He wasn't saying it in a get back way. It was kind of like, some of you guys need to realize you can't trust him. I mean, to me, I bought it, but it was almost like it was what he was supposed to say.
Okay.
And I just wonder if he got a little prodding to say that.
So you thinking Candace is pulling a little Brad there then?
Yeah. Exactly.
How ironic is that?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's get to the challenge. The first part of the puzzle, or the first part of the challenge, why even have it? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect the outcome.
Right.
It sure literally takes 5 minutes, and the puzzle takes, 30 minutes.
Right.
It's totally unnecessary. You could have just had the puzzle.
Yeah, I would have rather just seen him untie 3 knots and get 3 bags and then race up there to do the puzzle. I mean, I didn't really see the point of the first part.
Yeah. Well, at least Candace had the wherewithal to put on some pants. Candace, like, I've been on Survivor before. I know where those cameras are, and I'm putting on some pants.
Maybe she was prodded by the camera guy saying, hey, you might want to wear pants this time.
Well, then what? They didn't tell Marissa that?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, so anyway. So the puzzle is a real challenge. John, kicks butt on the puzzle.
Yeah, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and then,
boy. So do you think Tadhana was going, we lost that first puzzle challenge. Maybe John should have been working.
Yeah, really.
I mean, he did it like he made it, like Brope said, like he created the challenge.
Yeah. And Marissa just ends up falling apart and goes home. Candace gets second. Which gives, John and Candace their second honeymoon. I mean, heck, they get 3 days out on a beautiful island. Who cares if you're in a hut?
I wrote down conjugal visit.
Yeah.
They're both in prison.
They're like, cameraman, it's time for y'all to leave. Production crew, we won't say a word, we promise. Get out of here.
I liked her last thing she said was, we're here, this is our fate now, we'll just take what we get. But, with all the twists we've had so far, they don't know what's coming. It could be 2 people going back into the game. Yeah. So if they keep maintaining and they keep winning and keeping the other person third, then the 2 of them could go right back into it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So John gives the clue after hearing, let's give it to Monica. He gives the clue to Monica, and Monica very smartly gets rid of it.
I thought he was told to give it.
Yeah.
By the tone.
Yes.
Okay.
But you know what I think? I'm not sure. Do you think... I almost feel like Monica probably was already doing that before Brad said anything. Or do you think
I was trying to watch that part. Yeah, I think so too. For some reason, I think she was just waiting. She's been on her toes waiting for something like this. And I was looking to see if she was getting up before he said it. The editing, who knows what they did. It almost looked like she was turning, but as soon as he said something, she popped up. Yeah. So I think she was thinking that already as well. I don't want this thing. Because they've probably already talked about it.
Yeah.
Her and the tribe have already talked about it.
Yeah, and then we get a confessional. Monica's concerned that people are so aggressive towards her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also get a confessional from Aris that she did the right thing in getting rid of that clue.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, well, let's talk about that. Do you think she should have taken the clue and then showed it to the entire tribe? Just said, hey, y'all, here's the clue. Whoever finds it,
No, for that reason, I don't think she should have.
Okay.
I think she's safer doing what she did.
All right. So then they go to Redemption Island day 9. We get Redemption Island day 9. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And they get to play the game together. All they needed was wine and some, croissants. So, anyway. Go along.
Yeah, that's John. I'm just glad we're together. And
yes.
Honey, not here. This is not where we want to be together.
Yes. Candace knows how to play Survivor, and John's there because she's there.
That's right.
John's like, but we get to spend a couple of days together. We can spend a couple of days together when we get $1 million.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He'll catch up.
All right. Go along. Day 9. Of course, Monica. I mean, what are you going to be talking about if you're out there and Terry's getting lamb-blasted every single time you go to Redemption Island? You're going to go back to your camp and you might talk about it too.
This was probably my favorite scene, except for Tribal Council, of the whole episode, because I loved Monica's comment about, I know my Brad, and he's over there fishing, building fires. He's taking care of your loved ones.
Right.
He's providing for them. And then Jervis was like, Survivor Einstein coming back here.
Yes.
I thought he was brilliant. He said, look,
yes.
You know Brad from Tampa, but you don't know Brad from Survivor.
That's right.
And somebody's always seen as the villain. There's always usually a leader. But he's like, you need to step back and open your eyes a little bit and see what you're not seeing. Because we're guesstimating what's happening over there, and it's kind of coming out in Redemption Island. I thought I listened to this like 3 times. I thought it was really smart, and it was really honest, and she appreciated it, because I think she actually got a little understanding what he was trying to say. This is it's not Brad, your husband over there. That's Brad on Tadhana, and when he comes back, he'll be Brad, your husband in the game. But yeah, you need to open up and consider what could be going on. You're saying the thing right there. He's leading. You're admitting it.
Right. Yeah. So do you think she's gonna be hurt by the way Brad's playing, or do you think she's okay?
I think as long as they're the tribes that they are, she's okay.
Right.
Because I think they're seeing he's Brad, the new player, playing the way Brad is, and that's not Monica. Monica's playing a much quieter game. She doesn't have to play a game yet because they're not losing.
Right.
So for now, I think she's okay. Once they merge, it's going to depend on. It's kind of like The Godfather. When The Godfather says the first one to come to you about a truce is the traitor. It's going to be who she trusts at the merge. So it's really going to be interesting after the merge who comes to her, because who knows if Brad, if he wins, if he would come back then anyway.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, Janice just commented, Brad will be a bull in a china shop. But I saw a Mythbusters where they put a bull in a china shop and the bull didn't break anything. Seriously, they actually put a bull.
I think that's cool.
In a china shop, and the bull walked all around everything and never broke a thing. So amazing. I don't think that's what Janice meant, but I just thought I'd share that little.
You just thought you'd shoot down her comment. There you go.
Just thought I'd share a little bit there.
So the China would be Candace and John. Is that what you're saying?
See?
Gotcha.
All right, let me get that off of there. All right, let's see. What? Wait, what did you say? The China would be what?
The China will be Candace and John, and Brad will be the bull over there knocking them down.
Yes, he'll be over there trying to avoid them.
Hey, Candace, catch this log. At the next Redemption Island, Candace's arm is broken, so she's only going to have to do it with one arm.
All right, let's go to Tadhana Day 9. And Brad's like, man, everybody's hating on me.
It's funny, the first thing after last time was, I'm not a tyrant, am I? Or something like that. Am I a tyrant? So he's had to defend himself twice, and then after that it goes back to Brad being Brad. Kind of running the show again.
Yeah. And then, let's see, did Brad say Caleb is unconnected? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Did he say that like in a confessional? Is that where I wrote that down?
I believe
he wouldn't have said that out. Brad might have said that out loud, but I don't think he did.
If he was talking to... No, I think it was a confessional. I don't think he was talking about Caleb yet.
Right.
Until, well, who knows? He might have said it to Caleb.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He might have. I mean, he has a hard time differentiating, confessional with in front of everybody.
I like how they show him out there fishing, and once again we're getting the picturesque view of Brad showing the fishing pole.
Yes.
She's got as he flexes and holds up.
Brad, we need to take that 3 more times, please. We need to try that shot 1 more time, please.
You know, Brad, it probably would work better if we had a bigger fish. Can you not catch the little 2-inch fish? Can you find something bigger?
All right, so when Brad is off fishing, the 3 guys are hanging around talking, and they're like, man, that's like Brad bashing hour.
Yeah.
And then we get a little confessional of Caleb saying, look, I trust Hayden and Vetus more than I trust Brad. Brad's at the bottom of the totem pole.
Right. All because of Brad's move last week of breaking the alliance.
Right.
He was the first one to step up and do that. I like how, according to the edit, Vetus and Hayden and Caleb were more like sharing their thoughts. Nobody was stepping up. Nobody was out loud. Nobody was bratting and leading the conversation. It was more like a shared time.
Right.
And I really thought that was the social game that Hayden and Caleb and Vetus can all play. And we've kind of been waiting for that and seeing bits and pieces of it. But I thought this was a good example, that conversation. They were just kind of talking, which is what Brad should have done last week. Right. I still think he'd have done so much better if he'd have looked at the guys and say, or go to Hayden privately and say, is there anybody you don't trust? I'm getting some vibes. Is there somebody in our group you don't trust? Do we need to look at anybody differently and let somebody else bring up John? As John looks for the idol, over there in the woods. But I like this. And then Hayden's starting to get a lot of phrases. He got two episode titles, and then he comes up and says, I don't want to get Johned.
Yes.
I love it. I love that. That was cool.
All right, let's go to Galong, day 10.
Okay.
Tyson's arm is hurting. But I love this whole sequence, Tyson's laying there in the hammock. Yeah, maybe I should go do that. Tyson gives a confessional about how he's playing it up a little bit. Then the ladies go off, and Tyson, okay, Jervis, let's go. I just love it. I love it.
I could see Tyson trying to get out of the hammock with one hand, and Jervis says, just stay there, we'll get the wood. And then the first confessional he does where he talks about this, he's not wearing the sling. He's just sitting with his arms. Now, he did hold his arm up the rest of the time, so I mean, I'm sure it was still hurting like he said it was.
Yes.
But it's like he's not even in the sling. He's just sitting there talking to the camera.
Okay, so how funny is it that they show the coconut bandits, right? And on this week, as soon as that video came out, I tweeted the video. And I think it was Laura. It may have been Laura. I think it was not Laura Bonham, but the other Laura. Was like, basically tweeted back, I can't believe y'all did this, or something like that. So that they're seeing this for the first time.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Oh!
They're good. They're good actors.
Okay, so then they get back and they're examining, the ladies go and find coconuts. And they're examining them, and they're like, well, crabs are getting them. Oh, man.
Those are some strong crabs, tearing them coconuts apart.
I like that Tyson was saying, yeah, they were like that during my season.
They said,
like crabs
Samoa.
Come and, it's talk of, I mean, he and Jervis.
Well done.
Really snowed those ladies.
Yep.
Snowed them. Anything else about that whole little thing?
Just that he talked about how that's another good situation where Tyson and Jervis have a secret within the alliance, within the tribe, and it's their little secret. It's got no strategy to it except for maybe giving them, protein or something or whatever, but it's a bond that only they have.
Right.
And that's an alliance. And he said, and if Vetus can make the merge, he and Aris are the strongest pair, which my blog agreed with, and then the 4 of them. So there's a foursome. So much for the Major League Alliance. Here's the new guy foursome that can go to the end. So that was a neat little maybe foreshadowing of what's coming up.
Yep.
But I also like that he realizes that he and Jervis are alone. They don't have their loved ones to worry about. So on that side, I think it's good, and on the other side, they're talking about it being bad. So
yeah, I'm telling you, this loved ones idea, Survivor's got something good here. They need to keep it.
Yeah.
At least for a couple seasons, I would think.
Yep.
All right, let's get to immunity challenge. It's day 10, and I love what Tyson says whenever Prop says, "Give me the immunity idol."
You can just leave it here, Jeff.
Yeah, you can just leave it here, Jeff. So they're playing for coffee, etc., or they're playing for fishing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon, if they keep the tribes the way they are, pretty soon they'll be playing for a new car or fishing stuff.
I felt like
we've given Galag everything we possibly can. So
I felt like, you can take door number 1, which is a helicopter cruise around the island.
Yes.
Door number 2, which is a boat full of food, or door number 3, the fishing gear. It's going to be here the rest of the season until you guys win something. All right, we're just going to give you all fishing gear, so you don't have to compete this time. You can just have it.
Yes. All right, so as normal, Tadhana takes an early lead. Basically, they were 1 crate ahead the whole time until the end, when they dropped a couple crates. And but Tadhana ends up getting the steps done first. So Tadhana gets to the puzzles first, and you've got Sierra and Vetus working on the puzzles.
Right.
But on the other side, you've got Laura, the puzzle queen, and Tyson, who's not so bad at puzzles himself.
The one-arm assistant. Right.
Yes. And, they just kick butt on the puzzle, and Galang wins again.
I'm going to have to agree with Sierra. Maybe she's not as good at puzzles as she thinks she is. There's a difference between doing puzzles in your living room on a card table and doing puzzles on the clock, competing to stay in a game.
Okay, but who's to say if she was with Tyson and her mom was with Vetus that the Tyson team wouldn't have still won? It wasn't Sierra versus her mom. It was Sierra and Vetus versus her mom and Tyson. It's not fair to Sierra to say it's her fault. It's not, because it's not only her fault.
Is she listening or something?
No, I'm just saying.
Laura did the bulk of that puzzle. If you watch it, she talked through it, she worded it. Tyson was putting pieces down, she was putting them all in. To me, Sierra wasn't. She just wasn't leading on the puzzle. Maybe she didn't want to lead on that puzzle, but I just didn't think she was doing puzzles like she thought she was doing puzzles. I don't know. Laura, to me, this is the advantage of a returnee. I mean, a puzzle should be a puzzle, but there's the stress, there's the pressure. We've never won. I got a lead. Probst is over there saying how much my mom is doing better than me.
Right.
And it's just the stress.
Sierra's losing again to her mom.
Laura is dominating.
I'd be like, hey, Jeff, so is Vetus.
No,
Vetus
doesn't get called out for anything, for choosing Rachel to go out, for voting anybody else. Vetus doesn't get anything called for anything. Now, my question is this. How bad would it have been to have lost this challenge and voted out Laura Bonham just to save your loved one? Because you can tell as soon as Laura puts in the last puzzle piece, she goes, what did I just do? She looks right at Sierra, and Sierra goes, I don't know what you did, Mom, besides beat me at puzzles again.
Yeah.
That was my exact thought as soon as I saw Laura's face, because Laura's really taking this hard. And because she's the best puzzle person apparently this season. She seems to be. And as soon as she wins, she hates it. She hates just like, oh, what did I do? And I'm thinking, and I'm looking at that, Galang, and I'm thinking, you've still got Laura. Laura's by herself. Jervis, you're not going to vote out Jervis or Tyson. But, how bad would it have been to throw one challenge?
Really? Do you not recall our conversation in our last podcast where we talked about never throwing challenges?
I do. Yeah, but you're talking about never throwing challenges when your loved one's waiting for you in episode 10 or 9. I'm talking about loved ones are over there trying to stay in the game. Okay. And as long as you got a loved one in the game, you've got extra power in the game. You've got extra leverage in the game. This is a different situation. If it's like five guys and my daughter, and I've got 12 people still in my tribe, then I'm thinking about losing the challenge to get rid of some dead weight.
But how do you pull that off? They all know that you're good with puzzles, so how do you pull that off? I think they would know.
I would make a deal with somebody. I would go to Aris, or I would go to Tyson
afterwards,
before the challenge, and say, look, they're down to voting out my daughter, and if something comes down to it, I want to keep her, and you've got our vote if we make the jury.
Okay.
I would make some sort of long-term deal. It's just a thought, just a hypothetical thought out there.
It'd be like Big Brother, where you make deals like every 5 minutes.
Yeah, whatever suits you for that night, right?
Yes.
But this is the great thing about the loved one theme. This is the great thing about that. There's so many more things to look at.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to Tadhana Day 10. So we go back to Tadhana.
Of course, because Galang wins. They don't need to talk about anything.
Right. For the shortest after immunity challenge video segment in the history of Survivor, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is where Brad's just not a good Survivor player. Brad, again, makes a stupid mistake. It's just like Sierra said. Every time we get back, the guys go, quote unquote, get water, and the girls hang around and get rice. You know, we're trying to figure out how we're going to save our butts, and they're figuring out which of the girls that they're going to get rid of.
Right.
Except not today. Brad hangs around. And the other three guys are like, Brad, are you coming?
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, not a smart move.
See, well, it's easier for us to say it in hindsight, but how hard would it have been to go to Vetus and send one of those guys? Brad's got to see how much talking Vetus and Hayden are doing with the girls. You know, everybody knows who he is. He's marked for death. You know, he's the boss. He's the tyrant. He's the one that people are picking on. How hard would it have been to go with the guys, keep the routine, and then say, Hayden, why don't you go tell the girls we're voting out Caleb? He's the loner. You know, he's just taking it upon himself. Like he tried to make himself look good with the John vote. You guys take out John, but I'm not going to because I'm going to win him back later. Right. But I mean, he's just, like you said, he's not playing it very well.
He's not a good Survivor player.
And he would probably agree with that right now. He would probably agree with us.
I mean, not only that, the three guys are like, I don't know if I trust him, especially Caleb. Caleb already has reason not to trust him. Exactly. And Caleb was the, pawn.
Right.
So Caleb's like, I don't want to be the pawn, which we'll get to in a minute. But
yeah, why is Brad doing something he's never done? And I know it's about me. You know, why is he talking to them first?
Yeah.
So it's almost like Brad's playing by a playbook and not by day. You know, he's playing the football role. He's going play by play. He's not adjusting to the game. He's not learning from the game, it seems like.
But he's not even using common sense, though. I mean, common sense tells you, David, that if every time you get back from a challenge, the girls hang out together and the guys hang out together, you don't, you keep doing that. Yeah, you break that. Especially when you're breaking it to do what people are going to suspect you of doing.
Which makes me wonder how many seasons he's seen besides One World. That's what I wonder.
But I don't even know if it's that. I just think I just don't know if he has a lot of common sense. A lot about this kind of stuff, A lot of brawn, but anyway. We did forget to say Hayden, gets another confessional about how they keep losing.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, so Hayden and Vetus, according to Caleb, Hayden and Vetus have his back. Right. So, and then all of a sudden we're heading to tribal, and I wrote, "Wow, that was quick."
See, now this is a point where if they had promoted it the way I said, they're thinking, "What in the world is going to come dramatic out of this?" Instead of the power shift of Brad leaving, because this was a good edit. We got nothing about Brad leaving, which nobody knew anyway because of Tribal Council what was going to happen. But we're sitting here waiting. Wow, we didn't see anything about Brad, but it's going to be probably Brad, So we haven't. I'd rather wait for a dramatic event or dramatic move at Tribal Council. That would have had me more interested.
Yeah. Okay, so they leave for Tribal, and this is the way it stands. Hayden. Yeah, Hayden. Sorry. Hayden, Vetus, and Brad, and Caleb are voting for Sierra.
Right.
That's the plan. And Sierra and Katie are probably going to vote for Brad. That's the way it's going down.
Vote for Caleb.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you think Sierra and...
That's who they were told to vote for. Yeah, until Caleb said something, they were voting for Caleb.
Yeah, yes, of course. Okay, so they'd be voting for Caleb. So, everything's fine and dandy going into Tribal Council until Brad sticks his foot in his mouth again.
Speaking when it wasn't even his turn.
Gosh. So, and then Caleb's just like, you know what? Let's do this. And I almost kind of wonder if Caleb figured out they were going to be... No.
Well, he wasn't the vote.
It. Yeah. He wasn't
So
devoted.
I think
My mind was somewhere else.
I think this was a question that Probst put out there about Caleb's place being the lone player. I mean, Probst saw
Right.
that you're the one without a loved one, and Caleb said what he felt. And I wonder, I'll give Caleb credit. I think he threw a match on a pile of wood to see if it would burn, and he said, "I'm the low man on the totem pole."
Yes.
And the only one uncommon sensed enough to say something was Brad.
Yes.
You know?
It's like, so are you saying that Caleb is a target? Yeah. And okay, yeah was bad enough. Let's add an and to it. And that kind of played into who we were going to vote out tonight. Hello.
Yeah, it's the puzzle girl or it's the guy that's a loner. So and then Caleb says I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. Brad says you're not at the bottom of the totem pole. You're not the lone player. Oh, well, you are the lone player, but you're still not at the bottom of the totem pole.
Okay, before we get to Caleb, pulling a really good stunt here at Tribal Council, yes. I really like how Sierra handled her question. This is before all this, about losing the puzzles. Sierra was like, look, I'm not going to go back and complain about it. I'm going to do my best to stay in this game.
Right. Absolutely.
I just liked her answer. I like Sierra a lot.
I think Sierra is saying the right things at the right time. She's not saying any more than she has to.
She's like the polar opposite of Brad.
Yes.
In when to say stuff and what to say when you say it. So.
Yep.
Anyway, Caleb, you campaigned against me, and then Hayden said, it's hard to regain trust, and here it comes. I'm writing I'm writing Brad's name down, and he just tells Sierra and Katie, y'all do what you want. I'm writing Brad's name down. Guys, y'all do what you want. I'm writing Brad's name down. And Vetus and Hayden are like, what?
Really? I like what he said. I like what he said to Sierra. He said, I don't want you to go home. As in, you're the one they're voting for.
You're the one they're voting for.
I'm voting for Brad. If you want to join me, we can lock this up. We can tie. Yes. We can set a 3-3 tie.
And see, here's the deal. There's a 3-3 tie, and it happens again.
Right.
Then they're safe. Caleb and Sierra are safe, and the other ones are picking rocks.
Yeah.
So this is a great move.
I like Katie and Sierra's face because they're like, this is probably day 10. I think they're like, is this Christmas for the 10th day in a row? We keep getting gifts. We'll take it.
That's right. That's right. And Caleb just turned his whole game around.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's not low man on the pole now.
Yes. When we get the stock up, stock down, I'll tell you more what I think. But
all right.
Now Reese says we're giving Sierra too much credit. How are we giving Sierra too much credit? Oh, for the way she's playing. Well, she's playing like Sandra to me. She's playing long as it's not me, and I'll speak when I need to. So I will give her credit for that.
Yeah, I just liked how she answered the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't have anything to do with Brad getting voted off, other than she voted. This was all Caleb. Caleb pulled this blind side.
I think that she's smart in the sense that she's not shining in puzzles or necessarily in challenges, but in a sense, she actually lucked up at this tribal council because of Caleb. She was gone if it wasn't for Caleb. So he's right about that.
She owes Caleb a night out on the town, some pizza, some Diet Coke, whatever. So, all right. So, and Vetus, I love this. Vetus looks at Caleb and is like, "You're writing his name down? Like,
you're serious?"
Are you serious?
And he looks at Hayden, and Hayden's like, I don't know.
I don't know. This is crazy. He's like, this never happened on Big Brother.
Yeah. We didn't act like this.
Yeah, and I think Brad's scared. I think Brad's thinking, crud, I might be going home.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So we get to first of all, I love what Prope says. Hey, I'm excited to see what happens. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's vote.
I loved Hayden playing up to the camera. I thought that was a little.
That was the second vote, though, wasn't it?
No, that was wasn't it the first? That was the second vote. Was it? It was the second vote. Okay.
So the first vote comes on. Everybody votes like they're supposed to, or like they've said they're going to. Vetus, Brad, and Hayden vote for Sierra, and Caleb, Sierra, and Katie vote for Brad. So it's a tie.
I was surprised somebody didn't change their vote then. I was really surprised. But I was impressed, but I was really surprised.
Yeah. Well, I was further surprised that whenever we got to the second vote, that Hayden didn't switch. I was really surprised. Vetus did the smart thing.
Yeah.
And switch, because you know Sierra and Caleb and Katie are not going to switch their votes. And if you don't want to have a 1 in 4 shot of going home, you better switch your vote. So really, Hayden did not do the smart move, and Vetus did.
That's true. That's very true, especially with Kate. You know, like you're right, Caleb and Katie were not changing their votes.
No.
No reason to.
So you know that if you don't change your vote and the other guy doesn't change his vote, that y'all are going to be a 1 in 4 shot of going home. There's going to be a purple rock pulled. And so, you know, Vetus does the right thing. Hayden didn't. Just saying. Maybe that's just Hayden not realizing. Maybe Hayden hasn't watched a lot of Survivor. You know, he's just dating a Survivor. I don't know if she's on the show, but he's dating her. And,
we've heard she's on the show.
Yeah, we've heard she's on the show. She looks good on the show. But I think that might have been Vetus is a smart player, and Hayden just didn't know. I think it was more ignorance than it was, you know, like a stupid move. I just think he didn't know.
Well, I think it was. I agree with you. I hadn't thought about the rock drawing thing, but I wrote it as a smart move for Vetus because his love. They talked about the loved ones being on the other side. Is Monica, who's already down. You know, she's got to be feeling bad, and you know she's probably got to be in an odd situation. You know, she's probably low man on the totem pole in her alliance because of Brad. You know, no matter how she plays or what they think of her. So it was kind of a safe move. Why go into another rock pool, like you said, or tiebreaker when you could send a very strong person to Redemption Island so you won't have to face him after the merge, and his loved one is his wife.
Right.
It's not Aris, Jervis, Tyson, anybody bigger or stronger. So it was a smart move on more than one account.
Yeah. All right. So Brad, you know, goes into, hey man, I'm not mad at you. Hey man, hey, it's okay. He wants to touch everybody. And they're all just like, you know what? Can we just get this over with and you not touch us all and say you're not mad at us, please?
I liked it though. I liked it in the sense that, like, I think they said that, you know, they don't need the money. They're just doing it to play the game. And Brad, I think it was half admitting that he screwed up and half admitting that they got him. And he just wanted to say, I guess when he walks out, I'm not going to give you all the one finger salute. Just going to let you know I'm going to go out there and play my hardest because you guys did well. I messed up. He even said that, I think, as they were reading the votes or something, or at the end of the votes, I messed up.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So next time on Survivor, you want to do that real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Caleb is ready to make some more noise. Caleb's leaning back in the boat. I'm in charge of this game.
So if you just knocked the guy off the mountain who was up there, why would you want to walk back up the mountain and take his spot?
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we'll see what happens. And then will Monica switch places with Brad?
That should be a fantasy question. That would, and don't give us any pictures, please, of the Redemption Island challenge.
And show Monica in the challenge, and we'll know that she didn't. But anyway,
what do you think's going to happen there? Give me a prediction. Think just between those two. I think Brad's going to say no.
Yeah, I don't think Brad would let her.
I think he knows, like Rachel knows, that she probably has a better chance because he's burned bridges and he's not going to be like no matter where he goes. I mean, can you imagine him going back on that tribe?
Yeah.
The Galang tribe?
He'd be voted off first thing.
Well, I don't think
after Laura.
Yeah, I think they'd do a tribal swap after that or something. Although Probst will probably say, no, let's give him 2 days on the tribe, see what happens.
Yeah. All right, y'all. It is time for our.
Well, then we get Brad going to Redemption
Island. Sorry. Oh yeah. Go.
Which we've already talked about.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Talk about it because I don't have my stock up, stock down done.
Well, just that. I think it was a production thing that they made him wake him up. He probably did walk to the beach. I kind of think it was you need to when you arrive, you need to greet them. You can't just go to sleep. You have to greet them the night you arrive because that's part of the filming. I love that we're not getting confessionals. You know, they got me, they tricked me, they're sending me. No, I want to see you show up at Redemption Island and see how they react. What a great teaser to start that for the next week. I love we're getting that.
All right. All right, stock up, stock down. Whose stock went up for you, Sir David?
For me, for this episode, it was Caleb because he put his faith in Hayden and Vetus, and I think they appreciated that, and his big move may have saved them from doing it. So, and he also got favor with Katie and Sierra.
That's
So
right.
I think Caleb's stock went up. Now, we'll see how high it stays next week.
Right.
But I think for this episode, his stock went way up. And we actually got to see Caleb play. That was the best part. He did a great move.
He pulled a great move at Tribal Council, and
he wasn't even in danger of going home.
No.
So that was risky.
I kind of felt that was an obvious choice as well, David, and I picked Caleb.
So I don't get any points further away from you.
Points? It's a fantasy pool.
It sounded like you in fantasy.
I just think it's funny because we just took like a 5-minute break for me to figure out my stock ups. And I acted
let me give you my stock down. That'll help.
All right, stock down.
My stock down went to Monica because I don't think she's in as strong a position as she was at the beginning of the episode. I thought you didn't have one. I thought you didn't have one.
No, I wrote Monica. Just wanted to show you I wrote it. So we both had the same stock up and stock down this time.
I'm still of the opinion that being alone is not a good thing for certain people like Laura, and now I think it's going to be Monica. Who's going to want to keep her now that Brad's only got a 1 in 3 shot of coming back into the game?
Yeah.
So I just think her stock went down. She's handling it well. She's putting up a good front, but I just think her stock went down because she's not going to be a pair. Remember we talked about a week or two ago that having a pair in an alliance is going to be so much stronger.
Yep.
So, what about you?
Right. Monica. Same reasons. Same reasons.
You want me to just give you my stock up, stock down?
Hey, I wrote them down. I wrote them down before you said them.
I'll pick them for you next time.
By the way, apparently Drew has learned his lesson. Drew Downs, our amazing artist, who drew all this stuff that you see right here.
Yeah.
Right? I can't do it. Anyway, because the last 2 episodes he got called out twice, and this time he's actually listening. So that he doesn't get called out again.
He learned his lesson.
All right. That's our stock up, stock down. It is time for fantasy pool results.
Oh, yeah.
Let us hear the results and hear how badly the SCA 9000 did and how amazingly we did.
It actually got 11 points. It got both questions right, and it got 7 for Brad.
Well, good. So what was the first question?
The first question was, will Tyson leave the game with an injury?
Yeah, bad question.
Exactly. Completely agree.
That was a gimme. If anybody missed that one, they just didn't change the vote or change their answer.
And the second question was, the person voted off male or female, and it picked male.
I put male.
And I did too.
And so did I.
Yep.
Now, you originally put 10 points on somebody on Tadhana and 10 points on somebody on Galang.
I put 10 on Laura and 10 on Brad.
Yes. Now, did you stick with your initial feelings there, or did you, wimp out and copy me?
Oh, I definitely wanted to copy you.
Yes.
Because after seeing the commercial and them saying it was a major power shift blindside.
Yeah. And after me saying I'm putting all 20 points on Brad at our feedback, our last show, you decided that you were going to as well.
You made the right call first. I'll give you that much.
Yes, I did.
You went all in first.
And yet you're still beating me by 2 points.
That's because you didn't listen to me the week before last or whatever it was.
Crud.
But I can tell you this. The questions for next week, even though we're not talking about them, are who wins Redemption Island and who is eliminated from Redemption Island. So that's pretty fair.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I don't think they can cheat us on that.
Okay, this might be the first week that people don't get perfect scores. Because, there may be a twist. There may be a tribe mix-up and all kinds of stuff next week.
Yeah, I missed the pick on that one. I had Candace winning. Gosh, John just blew through that one.
Yeah.
Didn't even break a sweat.
Nope. It's because he didn't have to worry about the camera.
Yeah.
I'm serious, though. If I'm a girl, I'm like, you perverts, move the camera. You don't need that shot. Just telling you what I'm thinking. All right. Well, let me tell you what, everybody. Follow us on Twitter, @Survivor_talk. Join our Facebook group/Survivor Talk. We just passed 200 on our Facebook group, and we passed 550 following us on Twitter. If all those people would listen to our podcast, hey. And if all of you would vote for us in the podcast awards, triple hey. Right?
Hey.
Yeah, Survivor Talk with DND.com/podcast/awards, or just go to podcastawards.com and vote for us. By the way, our new website is looking better and better every day. It looks really good today because it has RC's picture on it.
Hello.
I know. It's funny. Well, I'm not going to tell them all that. But anyway,
no, you don't tell them
it's
all
got
that.
RC's posted picture on it.
We'll leave it there.
She better show up on Sunday night. I haven't heard from her all week, and I'm getting a little worried. So hopefully she will show up Sunday night. Shayna and I will be doing the listener feedback show this Sunday night. So get your feedback in by Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I can put all that together. The earlier you get it in, the easier it is for me to prepare for the show. And that would be great. Keep it under 5 minutes and keep it family friendly. Mm-hmm. Anything else, David? You got anything you want to talk about in Shootin the Breeze?
Just that I want to go watch the latest episodes of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
I need to go watch that. You've got to catch up. This season
I don't have
is
season
amazing.
5. Okay, we'll talk about that. I don't have season 5.
I know.
Netflix doesn't have it yet.
Shayna and I talk in Facebook without you because we talk about Sons of Anarchy. Because you haven't seen the season yet. That's all we talk about is Sons of Anarchy.
I'm going to tell your wife.
First thing this morning, I went on and said, do not talk about it because I have not seen it. And she goes, you're going to be shocked. I said, okay.
All right.
Okay, don't tell me anymore.
All right. Any final words on Survivor, David?
Oh, yeah. Kind of like Kat. She's here? Okay. No, just another good episode. And it's almost like no matter who's in this season, it's the theme that's going to win. The theme is carrying the season, and it's making it so interesting and so good. And like you said, they've got to do this theme again, but I'd love to see it with all new players.
Right.
Let's give everybody a fair shot.
Absolutely. This bringing back returning players and pitting them against non-returning players is really tough. But, again, I still think that their original plan was to have mixed tribes.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had this going on.
That would have been interesting.
All right, y'all. Music for tonight's show is Giving You All Control by Jeremy Camp. I want to thank you again for listening. And that's all I got. How about you, Dave?
I'm good.
All right. See you, everybody.
See you.